Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudi. Thank you so much for being here. If I sound out of breath in this video, it's because I am. I just came up my stairs, and going up and down my stairs at 32 weeks pregnant is not an easy thing to do. I'm feeling huge. I'm feeling so tired. I'm feeling all the feelings. I'm feeling anxious about birth. If you're new here, I'm pregnant. Hi. I just wanted to sit down and talk about some of my favorites and flops from last month, because soon I will not have the energy or the time to do a full beat to my face. So I want to enjoy the makeup and the skincare that I am using until that time. Let's get into it. If you are new here, like I said, my name is Rudi. We talk about skincare, makeup, hair care, body care. Basically do old YouTube style videos, but with newer products and brands. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I would love to have you subscribe. Starting with a favorite. I used to not be a big primer girl, and as I've gotten older, my skin has started to change. It feels generally just a bit drier, and also being pregnant, I'm not able to get my Botox like I usually do in my forehead, which if you're curious, sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. Ugh. If you're curious, I have a whole video on my Botox journey, why I decided to get it, how much I got, all of that. But since being pregnant, my skin has been dry, particularly on my forehead, and I have been looking for a really good hydrating primer to help me during this time. And I have found a few, but this is the one that I've continuously gone back to over the past month. This is the Fenty Skin Dew and Plump Hydrating Nectar Glow Serum. When I saw this online, I was like, that sounds amazing, but is it just gonna be any old serum out there that kind of just like dries immediately into the skin and is thin and doesn't do anything for you? And that is not the case at all. This is a perfect makeup base. I don't necessarily know that I would want to use this in my skincare routine. I might, because it doesn't really sink into the skin super quickly, which is why I like it as a primer. It's got this thick, gooey texture to it, almost like a jelly kind of texture. And because of that, it really grips your makeup, gives you a lasting, hydrated finish to your skin before applying foundations, concealers, all of that jazz. I love the ingredients in here. I love the smell. It's a slight peachy nectar smell, but it does not last on the skin. And I have been using it pretty much every single time I've done my makeup over the past month, because it just gives you that plump, juicy skin that you need before a drying foundation without doing 50 steps. I just use this. And for people asking how I layer, I usually will go do my skincare downstairs. Then when I come upstairs to do my makeup, I will apply this first thing. So there's probably been 5 to 10 minutes between finishing my SPF and putting this on, and it just kind of rehydrates the skin. So highly recommend you check this out, although I do know it is quite expensive for a primer or a serum, but I am really enjoying it. Speaking of drying base products, my first fail of the month is from, you guessed it, Armani, and it is their skin tint. I said in the last video that this was like $70. It's not. It's like $50, but still not worth the price. I tend to love Armani products. If you saw my last video, it's like all high-end luxury makeup. And I had an Armani blush in there. I had the Armani foundation. I had a lot of Armani products. They're eye tints, but this missed the mark for me because it's so thin, too lightweight almost. I did a video where I put this on, I think like 2 or 3 videos ago, and I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the way that it looked, but I certainly didn't love it. I felt that it dried really quickly. I felt that it gave you almost no coverage, even with a brush. And because it was so thin, it just dissipated into your brush or your sponge. It is supposed to be a 24-hour wear skin tint, which I just think is silly. I would have rather them find something a little bit more dewy, a little bit thicker, like an Hourglass skin tint. That's what I was hoping that this would be. Or maybe the Summer Friday skin tint that has a little bit more body and like gives you that plumpness to the skin. But instead it was super thin, lightweight, which some people might love. And I think that this would be great suited for people who don't wear a lot of makeup, or maybe just want to dip their toes into coverage products, because it's giving nothing. So sorry Armani, I have to stick to Hourglass. My next favorite from this past month is actually a drugstore brow gel. This is the NYX The Brow Guru Crazy Style, aka Crazy Lift. This is a very thick, very laminating eyebrow gel slash glue. I accidentally over laminated my eyebrows last month, or maybe 2 months ago, to the point where they were just so soft, too soft. They were so malleable I could have made them into waves on my face. And so I had to let those hairs grow out and trim them off as my eyebrows were growing, and they're pretty much all the way back to being coarse again. But in between, I had half hairs that were coarse and half that were wavy sticking out of the ends. It was insane, and it was impossible to get them to look good naturally. So I went and got this, and it worked like a freaking charm. So if you are someone who wants a fully laminated eyebrow, I'm talking like stuck to your head eyebrow, which I have done in the past many times, this is what you want to go for. It is a synthetic brush tip, which I thought was really cool. And the product comes up through the bristles. It's very thick, and you literally just lay it down on your head, and I'm telling you, it gets through every single hair. I really like it for that laminated look. That's not what I have on today because I'm finally getting back to having my natural brows and their texture, so I wanted to use a different brow gel. But if you like the original NYX The Brow Glue, I think you will like this one, but just know it is very intense. If you like the Super Lock from Maybelline or the Rare Beauty and you've been using those to laminate your eyebrows, honestly, give this a try. Again, I want to tell you, it's very intense. It has a bit of a learning curve because of the applicator, but I'm telling you, once you figure it out, your brows will stay in place all day and all night and probably for your entire life if you never took it off. So it's kind of one of those pull it out when you need it type of things, but honestly, really enjoyed using it when I had half curly, half straight eyebrows. Next is a fail that I was sad about. It's in the powder category. It is the new Secret Brightening Under Eye Setting Powder from Laura Mercier, specifically talking about the shade Soft Pink, but really any of them. I have a short on this product where I wore it and did a wear test with it. And I know that the Secret Brightening Powder is not a new product. They just released it in newer brightening shades. So I think it was translucent only, and now they have a pink, like a peachy shade, the translucent, and then like deeper shade for deeper skin tones. And I am obsessed with and love the original Laura Mercier powder, but particularly their shade in Rose, and this is the Tone Up powder. And I really have no idea what the difference is between the regular, the Tone Up. I do know the difference between the brightening powder. I think this one has talc in it, if I'm being honest with you, which is probably why I like it so much, but this is my favorite brightening powder and lower face powder. So I was excited to have one that was one, smaller, but two, specifically made for the under eyes and in a pink shade. And let me just tell you, this powder made my under eyes look 100,000 years old. I don't know if it's like this texture. I could tell from the texture that I wasn't gonna like it. It's almost like that HD texture where the powder just feels like synthetic, which obviously all powder is synthetic, but it just feels like so thin, and I just need a little body to my powder. You need a little something to stick to the under eyes, and this just made me look so old, so crepey. It clung to all of my under eye lines. And I also felt that there was no brightening involved, which could also be because there are so many good pink powders out right now. I really love the Kosas Cloud Set in the shade Candy, as well as their translucent loose ones, also in the shade Candy. If I want to go for a super pink powder, I'm gonna go for this one, and you can see the color difference. The Kosas is just so much more pink. So if I really wanted that super bright look, that's what I would go for. And if I wanted it to be setting like a setting powder, I would use the Easy Bake from Huda. So there was a lot up against it for it to lose to, and it most certainly did. So I would stick to an original powder that you probably already love and use and skip this new one from Laura Mercier, sadly. I can't believe this, but we have another non-tubing mascara favorite in our favorites for the month. Last month, I think I did a video on my favorites last month. It was the Lancome Flutter Extension Mascara. This was so pretty, and I still really like it. It's just got such a beautiful little wand. It didn't flake on me. I still really like this one. Since getting this new one, I have worn it almost every time I've done my makeup. This is the Kosas Soul Gazer Mascara, and I had no intention of liking this because, one, it's not tubing, and we all know I'm obsessed with tubing mascara. And two, it's a synthetic wand, which is not my vibe at all. I like a really fluffy bristle wand. So for example, the mascara that I made, which yes, I have a mascara, I love the Bedazzled tube. This took me so long. This is the wand that we made. It's like a natural bristle wand with a taper, so you can get in all of the little crevices. I do like a hourglass wand. I think they work very well for my eye shape in particular. But again, I just had no expectations, and I was like, oh, this looks like every old mascara. It works so beautifully on my eyes. I have it on today, obviously, from the video. It separates, it gives fluttery, it doesn't smudge all over your eyes because it's too thin or thick of a formula, right in the middle. It's super black. It has not flaked or smudged on me throughout the day or night, which is crazy because it's not tubing. And on top of that, it has a vegan growth serum within the formula to help lengthen and nourish your lashes, which they have a lash serum that doesn't include those chemicals that can create really red eyes. So that's what's in here. So the more you wear it, the better your lashes are going to look without it, which I also think is such a cool concept. And I don't know why it took brands so long to think of that, but I absolutely love this. I have not had a ton of loves from Kosas over the past couple of years. I think that their powders are just top notch. I also like their powder blushes that they came out with and this mascara, but it had been a while since I had really loved something from them, so I am happy to see that they are back in rotation. Another brand that I had a lot of love for early on, and now, I don't know, I'm not finding their new launches that interesting or that good, is Patrick Ta. This is unfortunately a fail, and it is the formulated version of their highlighters. This one is broken, obviously, but I'll still talk about it. I just feel like I love the Patrick Ta blushes so much. The bronzers are fairly good. They're not my favorite. Love their lip oils and lip glosses. But then their foundation I wasn't like a huge fan of. Highlighters I wasn't a huge fan of, and I just felt like there were some launches that I was just like, I don't know. I didn't like the compact foundation or the liquid foundation. So I don't know. I just feel like I'm waiting for something that maybe my favorite products are already existing in that line, and that's just the way it is. But they did reformulate these highlighters because originally this part, so most of their products, if you don't know, are a cream and a powder duo, but the cream on top was like so loose that it was just like getting everywhere, and it was not mixing well with the powder. The powders were like super chunky. They were picking up really quickly and giving you like a huge stripe. So they reformulated them, but I like don't love this. I find that the powder itself is still way too soft and picks up way too much product, which this is a personal preference because I saw Michaela review these and she loved the old one because it had that blinding look to it. So it really just depends on what you're going for, but I want a highlighter that's super diffused, which I have on the new Glossier highlighter today, and I can't decide exactly how I like it, but I want something super diffused, lit from within, very natural, and these just aren't giving that. I will say the cream, this is in the shade Daddy, the cream itself is much easier to use, but they've used transparent base for all of them, which makes sense so that more skin tones can use it. But because of that, it's like really just showing up like a balm. It's pretty much just showing up like a balm with a bit of glitter in it instead of like an intentional cream highlighter, if that makes sense. So I unfortunately did not enjoy using any of these shades, and I will stick to probably using liquid highlighters with a sponge to really keep that natural look, or honestly like skipping highlighter in total, which is crazy, but it's just not my jam anymore, you guys. I think I can name this brand as my favorite brand at Ulta. I'm not sure. I'd really have to think about it, but every time About Face comes out with a product, I love it. I love their foundation. I haven't tried their powder, but I've heard it's really good. I love their eyeshadows, which is obviously a huge part of their line. I love their blushes. They do such a great job. And this is newer from them. This is a favorite. This is the About Face bronzer, Beach Freak bronzer. I have been using it every single day this month, and I am obsessed. With that being said, I hate the packaging. It is a roll-up, twist-up formula, but here's the thing. This is a bronzing balm. This is not a cream bronzer. This is a true balm, and you can tell just by looking at it how gooey it looks. And when you think about that, I want you to think of the Mario bronzing balm, the Merit Beauty bronzing balm, the Simi Haze bronzing balm. They are very malleable and gooey, but I think that I prefer the Mario and the Simi Haze because they're in a pot. So it's really compact in there, and you can decide how much you're getting before you put it on your face. Whereas with this, if you put it directly on your face, you are gonna get some pigment. So that's the only thing I don't like about this. Everything else, I love the formula. It's like this beautiful balm, but it has the pigment. So like the Mario and the Merit, it's so, sometimes you have to really build it up because they're so sheer. This is more similar to the Simi Haze in the fact that it has actual strength, opacity, and pigment in it. I wear the shade Coney Island, and it is my perfect bronzer shade. It's like a middle of the road, neutral brown. I absolutely love it. I put it on the back of my hand and then blend on my face with a brush because, again, like I said, if you go straight on the face, it's just very gooey. It does dry down, but it is that like texture. It's still gonna be a little bit like on the skin, so just keep that in mind. But I have set it with powders, with powder bronzers without a problem. Highly recommend you try this if you're looking for a new bronzer and you want more of a natural look. It is so beautiful, but definitely put it on the back of your hand before applying to the face. Round out this video with a flop and a favorite in the perfume category. I am loving perfume content. I think my favorite creator right now is Lauren May Beauty, but her fragrance channel. She's just so good at explaining things, and we have a very similar taste in fragrance. So I've been all about fragrance this past month, and I have a lot of reviews on my TikTok and my Instagram, but I wanted to talk about like the biggest flop and the biggest favorite from this past month. So starting with the flop, this is the Super Milk body spray. No, I'm so sorry to tell you, it's not the one. No, there's a lore behind this product. Super Milk started as a Lush, so this is by Lush. Super Milk started as a hair primer, which fuck's a hair primer? It started as a hair primer, and it has this beautiful scent, I'll pop the notes in, of like all these different warm like base notes with like a lemon scent. And people love it. They've been asking for Lush to make it into a perfume for ages. They made it into a perfume. It wasn't good. They made it into a body spray that had glitter. It has glitter. People don't want that. And then they made it into a body lotion just recently. Still not the same. They just made it into a body spray, which you think this has got to be the one. It's not the one. It doesn't smell like it. This smells like bubblegum. And I know that that's something that I've said multiple times, but people are like, I don't understand. And I'm like, I wish I could tell you, besides that it smells like bubblegum. It is such a strong hit of lemon that just overpowers the entire rest of the notes in this perfume. It sucks. I think I'm officially done trying with Super Milk. I don't think it's for me. Maybe my nose has changed as I've gotten older, but it's just, I wish so badly that it was more milky and it was more like rounded and well balanced instead of just this strong ass lemony bubblegummy scent. It's like, smell it like this on the way out. I'm almost like, oh wait, what was that? Was that good? But it's not. And it's the thing that lingers on my skin is the lemon, aka bubblegum. So it's gonna be a no for me, and I'm so sorry to have to tell you that. Luckily, I have a milky scent to fill you up. This is Commodity's new Milk Orchid, and this is in collaboration with an online friend of mine. Her name is Emma. Her handle is Perfumerism, and a big majority of her content and why she went viral on TikTok was trying to find a perfume that smelled like milk. And she has a whole playlist on them if you want to go see. Just loved watching her content. I think she's tried everything out there. And if you know the brand Commodity, they have a perfume called Milk. And it has milk notes in it, but it's very gourmand. I have it. It's very nice for fall and winter. Very simple, very gourmand. And different from other milk fragrances like Dead Cool's Milk or Extra Milk. That one's more of like an everyday scent. This one actually has milk in the actual ingredient list, which is not in Dead Cool. So anyways, they worked with her to create a perfect milk version of what she wanted, and it is so freaking good. I will pop the notes up so you can see, but we've got fig milk, coconut cream, and almond blossom, vanilla orchid, warm cotton, and magnolia, macadamia milk, and sandalwood. So really, the first time I smelled this, I was like, yeah, she did it. Freaking did it. Like, it smells so, got some in my mouth. It smells so milky and creamy and so good, but without it being like, why the frick would you want to smell like milk? Like, you're not smelling like cottage cheese and milk. You're smelling like milky essence, milky notes that really pair well with this fig note and the orchid and the cotton. Like, just so beautifully done. This is like perfect. Like, I just got out of the shower and I want to relax around my house, but also give it an extra spritz when you go out and you're suddenly giving sexy. My husband rarely comments on the perfumes that I have on because I change them so often. And if he does, I know it means something, at least in the eyes of, you know, husband. He loves this one. Every time that I wear it, he's like, wow, you smell so freaking good. I just love it. Goes in multiple times to smell me when I am wearing this. I know that it is either limited edition or sold out or both, but I'm pretty sure they have a pre-order going on their website or Sephora. Highly recommend that you try this out specifically for fall and winter because it's just so beautiful. And she's done an absolutely amazing job at making something so unique, and it makes me happy to see other creators and influencers making good ass stuff and not just like, I don't know, I just think people have such little faith in creators, and when I see this type of stuff, I'm like, no, we know what the hell we're talking about. So kudos to you, Emma. So proud. I should have at least another month of favorites left in me because my baby's not due till the end of October. So let me know in the comments some of your favorites and flops from this past month as we're getting into September. I'm so freaking glad summer's over. The summer was not the best for me. I was huge, I was tired, I was hot every freaking day, and so I'm just so happy to have things calm down a little bit before my son gets here. And if you caught it, I might be wearing a necklace with his name on it. All right, you guys, love you, and I'll see you in the next one really soon. Bye.